Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to do a review or like a May reading wrap up of what I read in May, which mind you, I read a lot in May. I didn't realize how much I read in May until I was doing my journal. I read 18 books. That's the most I read. I think the most I've read this year so far is March. I read 17. So I didn't write how many pages I read. Oh, shoot. Well, I read 6,481 pages this month. That's the most I've read thus far. So, the first book I read was Air of Storms by Lauren Hamilton Murray. It's the first book of the Stormweaver series, and I did give that one 4 stars. I did really enjoy it. I think I had this one. Yeah, I did have this one on NetGalley. So you're following a girl named Blaze, and she is pretty much a pariah. Everybody hates her because she was in this world. When you're born, you immediately have like an elemental power. And when you're born, literally the moment you come out of the mother, your power kind of manifests around you, so everybody around you immediately knows what power you have. Yeah, the brother, he manipulates fire, so all the candles lit up in the room. But when she was born right after him, it was a storm. She controls water, and that is a big no-no in this family because the entire family is fire, every single one of them. There's nobody in that family that doesn't control fire, so that's why her name is Blaze, because they all have like elemental names pretty much. So I really liked her relationship with her 2 brothers. They do not treat her like a pariah. They treat her as like a normal person, and I loved it. And her grandma, she kind of treats her like that, but like she's hiding that she's trying to help her. It is really neat to watch. And at some point, when there's an eclipse, that you have like a rune or something on your hand, and it represents the elemental class that you're in. So she has like a water drop, and her brother has like flames on his hand. And during the eclipse, there's light up saying that they have to go to the palace and try to fight to be the new kind of like king in a way, or like of their element. So she has to fight with all the other water people, but she doesn't know how to use her stuff. She does not know how to use it. She doesn't know what she's doing. She has no idea. She's never been taught. She doesn't know how to manifest anything other than like a little slight drizzle. That's all she can do. She can't do anything. So she goes and she meets the prince, and she already kind of met the prince before, but she meets the prince. His name is Halden, and he kind of control everything, all the elements. So he's going to be the king of all the other elements, but like they're for fighting because it's wind, earth, water, fire. It's those 4, and there's 4 in each that are fighting for it. Well, he's going to control all 4 of them, and then they're going to decide which one will be in control of each element. So her brother is in the fire group with his cousin and like 2 other random people. And then she has a girl in her group that I just absolutely hated, cannot stand her. The one that she kind of befriends in the earth one, his name is Fox. Come to find out, he's very important, like very important. And the way it ended, I wasn't ready for. I utter shock, utter devastation. There's a lot of trials because once you are in a trial and you are the weakest link, you are immediately taken out, but you're still there, but you're not doing any of the classes, you're not doing any more trials, you're not in the running, and your little rune thing will stop lighting up the moment that you lose. So hers is still lit the whole time pretty much. And the way it ended, her poor brother, the whole thing is kind of like deception and lots of secrets going on, and it was just so good. But I did really like her with the male main character, which I don't want to give it away who it is, but I thought there was going to be a love triangle. It is not a love triangle. I really thought the guy was really trying to play it off that it was a love triangle, but it's not. It is not. I really thought there was going to be one. I gave it 4 stars, 1 chili, because nothing really truly happens. And yeah, I need the second one. I need this book in my possession, but I also need the second one. And it's funny because I got it as an ARC, and it's kind of fun that you're getting an ARC. And a lot of the booktubers I've been watching, they're starting to put this on their list of books that they want to read. And I'm like, I've already read it. Kind of makes me feel special because I just never thought this would happen. And I'm really excited that I'm getting these copies early and I'm reading them before everybody else. And I'm just like in love with them. Most of them I'm in love with, but I digress. So then I read Never Run From an Immortal by Victoria J. Price. It's the first in the Immortal series. This one was also from NetGalley. And I also gave this one 4 stars. I gave it 3 chilies. So I don't really remember a lot of this one. I just remember when I was reading it, I was very interested. So you're following Ray, and I can't even remember what she does, but I do remember that Ray and the guy Aiden is a vampire, and his magic was taken from him years ago. And he's trying to find it, and Ray knows where it is. She knows how to get it, all this stuff. So she's working with him. They do like a marriage of convenience situation. And their banter, I remember their banter was very good. Yeah, honey. Okay, mild interruption for my child. Okay, so she has like witch abilities. So she's trying to get his powers back. So they get a marriage of convenience. And a lot of people are trying to get to her because they're trying to get to him. And the ending, the deception that happened, I was so surprised. I was not ready for. And the things that happened between them, I was just in shock. And I'm like, I need the next one. I want to read it. I think it would be so good. I did like her writing style, and I think that's what kept me intrigued. And all the banter and the spice was really good. So I do recommend that. It comes out this month on the 17th. So if you want to read it, I say go for it. Well, then I read Savage Proposal, which is the first book in the Vitali or whatever it's called, Mafia series by Bella Ash. I gave it 2 stars, 5 chilies, 100%. I wasn't a big fan of this book. I didn't understand because, like, you get the main girl's point of view, named Isabella, and she's working as a nurse, and this man is in one of the rooms and just takes her. And it's because her dad owes this mafia people over $1 million, and he just said, my daughter will pay for it. And she's like, I'm in nursing school and I'm working, like, I don't have the money. And so he's like, well, then you have to marry me, or like you have to be my surrogate, da 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 da. And I'm like, how does this fix anything? I want to know. But what I didn't like was that when we got Isabella's point of views, they were great. Once we got Enzo's, I was like, I don't want to be in his mind. I don't care. I don't like him. And with everything that went on, even in the end, I still don't like him. And I did not want them together at all. I was so angry. Just thinking about it makes me so worked up. But yet, I want to continue the series. But yet, it's a 2-star book. Because I cared about all the characters except Enzo, the main guy. I did not like him. He was the leader of the mafia. And his freaking people would tell him when he was doing something that was uncalled for. And he's like, you can't tell me what to do. I'm going to do whatever I want. And they're like, what you're doing is wrong. We can't stop you, but we're going to tell you when you're like fucking up. Like, come on. Like, I was so frustrated with this book. I mean, I finished it in a day because I was so frustrated. And when I was in Isabella's points of views, I was fine. But when I was in his, I was like, oh my God, now I feel like I'm hate reading. I have to continue. I have to know what happens. So, yeah. Do I recommend this book? Not necessarily. If you like dark romance, you may like it, but if you don't like dark romance, don't even try it. I'm going to tell you that right now. Don't try it. So then I read Only for the Week by Natasha Bishop, which, mind you, I've only read 2 physical books this month out of 18. The rest were all on my Kindle. By the end of the month, I was dying for to pick up a book and read. This is a 5-star book. I loved this book to no end, and I want to scream it off the rooftops that people need to read this. I loved it. And it's funny because somebody that I watch on YouTube, she went on a girls trip with somebody and they picked this book for her to read. And they also had it as a 5-star book. This is a 5-star, like all around. Okay, I can't say I have no complaints. The only thing is her sister drove me insane. I wanted to smack this girl, just smack sense into her. She drove me nuts. But the premise is that Janelle's sister, right? Her name is Janelle. Her sister's getting married in Mexico. This is Rome. He is a groomsman and she is the maid of honor. So they go to fly on a plane to Mexico. And it's called Only for the Week because they decide to be with each other only for a week before the wedding, but not the week of the wedding. So, man, it gets spicy. It gets so good from the moment. Like, it's so fast. And I liked how there was also texting in here. I just loved everything about this man, Rome. Oh, I would love a Rome. Like, he freaking rents out a yacht just for her to relax before the wedding so she can read all day. And then he decides to start reading her books so he can understand. And so they form their own little book club. I'm like, my husband's not doing that. Like, I would love it if he would read my books and we could have a little book club. Right now, we're doing Harry Potter. I mean, we're doing something. We're reading something. And he's the one telling me to read. So I would love it if he could pick something up like this. But man, the drama. Oh my God. And him being her like personal cheerleader, being like, you shouldn't let people talk to you like that because you're amazing. And this is how it should be. And like, you can do it. I believe in you. Like, just, oh my God, I loved him so much. And I love Janelle. And she is a doctor, an OBGYN. I loved it. I loved it. I love the representation of everything in this book. I loved it to no end, and I literally want everybody to read this. I'm probably going to give this to my aunt and make her read it because she likes romance books, and this was a good one. I need to remember that I want her to read it because I have another one that I want her to read too. First Time Caller by B.K. Borson. I'm going to start piling them in a bag and take them to her and be like, hey, read these. I demand you read these, and then we can talk about them. So then I read Tell Me a Secret, but it's the first book of the Secret series by Anai Ventura. Don't know how to say it. I gave it 3 stars. I will not be continuing in the series. I didn't like it. Felicity has a lot of money. She's the cleaner of her family. And when she's told to go and pretty much like a family member has messed up, she has to go in, take all their money, everything. They are pretty much disowned. They have to start over and they're gone. That's her job. Or if she needs somebody to sign a contract, she goes and she like threatens them until they make the contract. She has to do it no matter what. And she's trying very hard to get out of her dad's life, but she doesn't know how. And then she is put in an arranged marriage with somebody. And so she's taken to where he lives, but she only knows his name. She doesn't know what he looks like. And she meets somebody on the beach named Leo. And they immediately attracted to each other. They just hang out all the time. And they have a very strong connection. And when it's found out, like literally, I think it's a little over 50% of the way through, they finally find out who she's supposed to actually be marrying. That was devastating. That was really sad. It was really frustrating. And it broke my heart. I don't know why, because like whenever I put this on my NetGalley, it said it was a dark romance. This is not a dark romance. This is a contemporary romance. There's dark stuff happening around the relationship, but not within the relationship. And that's what I consider a dark romance, is when there's anything like within the two of them that's dark or has happened to one of them and it impacts the other. Yes. But like her job is dark, but she doesn't ever bring it into their relationship. So I was like, this isn't very dark for me personally. But I just didn't care. And it just felt extremely long. Like I just was like, okay, when am I going to be done with this? Like I felt like I was reading it forever, which I wasn't, but it just felt very, very long. So I won't be continuing with the series, but if you do like, it's kind of like mafia style in a way. They just have a lot of money and all that kind of stuff. And there's a lot of drama that kind of goes on. I would read it, but I personally did not like it. But I mean, it doesn't mean that you won't like it. So then I read The Elf Captive by P.A. Mason. It's the first book of the War of Magic. I gave that one 2 stars. On NetGalley, it said it was like a fantasy romance. There's absolutely no romance in this at all. He's an elf. He's been captured. There's a war on Earth, and there's elves there. There's trolls, orcs. There's all this stuff, and she's in the military. She's trying to get rid of it, and she has like a magical ability. Um, and she is tasked to talk to him because she actually learned more Elfish than other military men. So they want her to talk to him to keep learning his language and all that stuff, to figure out what he wants, all this stuff. So she starts talking to him. They strike up a friendship pretty much because she's seeing him all the time, and then she's trying to help other people. I didn't care about any of it. I really didn't. I didn't see the plot. I didn't care. I didn't care about them at all. So yeah, 2 stars. I'm not continuing with that series. I mean, if you enjoy like more political stuff and no romance, you might like it. And I like politics, but it was just all politics. That's all it really was, and I just kind of got bored. So I'm not gonna read it. I'm not gonna read on, but what are you gonna do? So then I read A Fate Inked in Blood, which is the second and the last physical book I read this month because I wanted to reread this so I could read A Curse Carved in Bone, but my book of the month order did not come in until the very, very end of the month. So I didn't read it. So this is the first book of the Saga of the Unfated, and I gave this one, the first time I gave it 4 stars. This time I gave it 5. I love this book to no end. I love all the Norse mythology. I love the gods. There's so much action. There's romance. There's deception. There's a lot going on in this. There's no downtime. And the banter with her in general is so good. She is witty, and with everybody, not just with the guy that she likes. Because mind you, she's married to a guy that can like bring fish in. Like he's magical, he can bring fish in, and that's all she does is gut fish for her entire thing. And her husband's the jarl or whatever. And he does die, and then it comes to find out that she has powers she's been hiding forever. Nobody knew she has powers, so then she's being forced to marry another Jarl, but she likes somebody else, and they're involved. And yeah, there's a lot of fighting. A lot goes on in this book. The romance, there's references to things, but you don't get any romance between her and the main character until the very, very end. So it's very minimal, but I do really like this book. I love the writing. I was never bored when I read this book. I do highly recommend this book. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that because I could talk about this book all day long. And then I read Bird and Bonds, which is the 4th book in the Arrowheart Academy series by Hannah Hayes. 5 stars. I loved this book. 5 chilies, hot, spicy. I mean, mind you, it's Rihanna, one woman, with 5 men. What do you think is going to happen? It's a reverse harem, plus there's dragons, plus magic, plus wolf shifters, or they call them werebeasts. There's assassins. I mean, there's everything. Everything you could want is in this series, and it's in an academy setting. And this one, not much in the academy setting, but she is taken at the very end of the last book, and the other 4, one of them knows where she is. The other 4 do not know where she is. So 2 of them go off to try to find her with her friend Winnie, and I love Winnie so much. And then the other 2 are together at the academy trying to also find her. She does get found in this book, thank God. And all 5 of the men plus her are together, and the friend Winnie with her boyfriend, and they're all together with her pet pig named Pip. Love Pip to no end. But I do have to say one of the guys, because like it's like a why choose. She's just gonna have all of them, which is fine. But I did pick a favorite. I picked a favorite, and he was the most unhinged one. But that's fine. I mean, he's an assassin. and he doesn't understand physical attraction or like physical touch. He doesn't understand it. He doesn't know why she's holding his hand. He's always like, why are you holding my hand? What does this mean? Why do I like it so much? And like, he's generally asks questions because he has no idea. He has no idea. And I just absolutely adored him, and how the other guys have to get over it and like him because of her. She says, no, he's not going anywhere. So you guys need to get over your guys' crap and get along. So then I read the last book, Destined Dawned. It's the last one of the Earhart Academy series by Hannah Hayes. I also gave it 5 stars. I've given every single book in this series 5 stars. I loved them. This one had a lot more like traveling, a lot of learning new information. It was a lot. This one was a little bit all over the place, but she's going everywhere to learn things. And the one that I loved the most, oh my God, I just cannot get over him. Whenever she finds something out about somebody and he's like, can I just kill him now? Because like, he's pissing me off. And she's like, no, you can't just do that. And he's like, but why not? Like, I don't understand why I can't just do that. And they're trying to teach him, like, you just can't kill people. But a lot of stuff is figured out in this book, and it was finished off perfectly. I loved how it ended. I do highly recommend that series, especially if I feel like I have a hair on my nose. Sorry. I feel like if you are a fan of reverse harem and magic and all that stuff, you would really like this book. I would give it a try. It's pretty good. And it is a bully romance, especially in the beginning. It is very bully, but you kind of get out of that the more books you go through. So I would try it. Then I read Mile High Heat. It is the first book of the Heat Cute Omegaverse by Sarah Blue. I gave this one 4.5 stars. I don't know why I didn't really give it a full 5 stars, because I've thought about it since, but not really. I don't know. So it's about a girl. She's an Omega, and in this world, everybody's either an Alpha, a Beta, or an Omega. There's no like regular humans. It's either Alpha, Beta, or Omega, and they never shift into wolves, but they have like the sense of smell. They growl or whatever. That's all they have. So yeah. She gets on a plane because she's leaving the pack that she was with, that they wouldn't seal the bond with her. She was with them for 2 years. They wouldn't seal the bond. So she leaves and she goes on a plane and she goes into heat and during the flight. And so she locks herself in the bathroom. The attendants are trying to get her out, but she won't leave because on the plane, there's a lot of alphas on the plane and they can do whatever they want with her pretty much. So they call the captain. Captain goes back there. His name is Cole. Okay. So, I hope this doesn't cut me off again because it already did it once. I had to go open my door real quick. So I'm a little bit not in the same spot. I'm in the same spot, but the camera angle is probably a little bit different. But so what I was saying about Mile High Heat was that they call the captain, which is Cole. He goes to the bathroom and he goes in there and he's immediately enamored with her. And that's a surprise to him because somebody in his pack, which is 3 men, they're all alphas. One of them his name is Jonah. He's been bringing Omegas because that he really wants an Omega to love. And him, Cole, and Mac don't. They're just not interested. But Cole is very interested in Shiloh. So he takes her to the cockpit and things just progress very quickly. Lots of smut, a lot of spice. I loved Jonah. He's the one that he cared the most. Like he was just so excited to have an Omega to love and cherish. And I like that they go to a place called Heat Haven, which it's like a facility. And I would say kind of like almost like a rehab. Like you can't have a phone, you're in a room and you're being watched through like a glass, like at a detective. You know, they can see you, but you can't see them because there's things that the women don't want happening to them, so they make sure none of it happens. Because when they're under their heat, the women kind of go feral, and so they're not progressing, like they're not processing anything that's actually happening to them. They need to be in intimate situations pretty much the entire time for days. So all of them are just naked. All 4 of them are just naked. They're always together. She's just going at it. They're going at it with her, and she does get hurt. So they end her heat early and they feel bad. So like, we're going to take care of you because we did this. Like it was a mistake. It was an accident. It was not anything on purpose. And it was sad. I started crying and I was like, this is so sad. And they take care of her and she bonds a relationship with each one of them, and they grow. They all had so much character growth, and I just really, really appreciated that. So I do highly recommend this book, but if you do not like nodding, don't read it. Don't read it. Just it ain't gonna be for you. You ain't gonna like it, so don't do it. So then I picked up One Puffed Up Pack, which is the first book of the Puffed Up Omegaverse by Sarah Blue. And I'm on a very big Sarah Blue kick. I really want to read everything she's written. It's another Omegaverse. It's kind of the same concept as Mile High Heat, but the guys are on the hockey team. But these three guys are in college and they play on the same hockey team together. They want to be part of a pack, but it's like if they go professional, they're going to put in different like states. So how can they be a pack? So they meet a girl and they are all scent matches to her. And that is extremely rare to even find one scent match. She found all three. And two of them are just gung-ho, no, we're going to make it work. One is like, no, I have to work harder than them to get where I am. I'm not as good as them, but I'm having to work double hard. Like, I'm not risking my career for you. So, yeah, the third act conflict happened at about 50% of the book. And it was really sad. It was really heartbreaking. And for them to get back together, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of character growth. A lot of therapy was involved, like everything. Like, I did really enjoy that book. I loved the growth. The growth, I think that's what it is that Sarah Blue's really good about doing character growth in all that she's written. So I gave that one 4.5 stars. I did give it 5 chilies because, I mean, it's a woman with 3 men. It's going to be spicy. And again, if you don't like nodding, don't read it. I know that's a big thing for a lot of people, but I don't mind it. It doesn't bother me. So, yeah. So then I read the next book of that series, the Don't Puck With My Heart. This one is about the main girl's friend, Piper. She's a doctor. And she likes somebody that's on the hockey team that the 3 previous are on. And she likes one, but he's also an alpha because Piper's an alpha. And I'm like, okay, so how does that work? Because the other 2 I read are the girls are omegas, and they're very docile. And like, they'll give you crap, but they like to be pampered. Piper likes to do the pampering. So I'm like, okay, but she's not the omega. So a guy has to be an omega, or a girl. But if it's a guy, like, how do they go into heat? Because like, they don't drop eggs like women do. And so how is that possible? I was very confused. And so I was very intrigued with this one. And it's about her being a surgeon, and she likes one of the alphas and on the team, and they kind of start becoming a thing, but he starts becoming a thing with the new goalie. And he is using suppressants to make him seem like a beta, but he's an omega. And you figure that out pretty quick. And Alexei, the main guy, finds out, and he's being protective of Owen, but he doesn't know that Owen and Piper have met, and Piper is also very attached to Owen and is okay with him being a beta, but doesn't realize till pretty far in that he's an omega. And yeah, shit goes down, and I really did like them, and they never have a kid. And I was like, okay, because the other one, they already have a kid by this point. Even because I read the third one too, no kid. And I was like, hey, I mean, you don't have to have a kid to be happy. And it was kind of refreshing to see that, and all the character growth between all 3 of them was really nice to watch. But again, don't like nodding, don't read it. Don't read it. But yeah, 4.5 stars, 5 chilies. Very good book. Then I read The Nightshade God, which is the last of the Nightshade Crown series by Hannah Witten. I gave it 2 stars. I skimmed 80% of this book. I really liked the first one, Foxglove King. And then I read The Hemlock Queen, and I started getting very disappointed. And this one was bad. I didn't like it. I did not like this book. It follows lore, and there's Bastian and Gabe. Bastian is a prince, but by this book, he's a king. And Gabe, he has something to do. Like, he's almost like a priest, but he's not. He can deal with, like, death, like mort or whatever. That's what lore does. I mean, it's very confusing, the magic in this. It's kind of hard to explain, especially when it's the third book. But none of them are with each other. All three of them are separated. And I thought it would be like a love triangle. But it really is, because like the guys like each other, and then each of the guys like the girl, and they all like each other. It's like a completed, connected triangle. But it was the beginning, I just was getting really annoyed because I started skimming, and there was one scene between Laura and Gabe, loved it, and he has an eye patch, and then it's Gabe and Bastian are together. I mean, I didn't like the ending. It's not an ending I've ever heard of before. I've never seen that happen before, so I was a little like shocked. But it did nothing for me. It finished my series, so I have another series checked off my list. But I didn't care for it, so I put my other 2 books up on Pango, because this one I got on NetGalley, and I'm glad I got it on NetGalley and I didn't buy it, because I would have been very disappointed. So yeah, I don't really want to say much more about that book, because I was very disappointed with that series. So then I read the 3rd book of the Pucked Up Omega versus Puck Around and Find Out by Sarah Blue. This one was my favorite. I gave this one 5 stars, 5 chilies. I loved that the main girl, her name is Sloane. She's an Omega, and she wants to build her own pack. She wants to handpick who she wants, and she knows who she wants. So this hockey team, her dad is the coach for the hockey team, and she's an Omega, and her dad's an Alpha. And he's like, you're not going because you're going to make the guys go haywire because you're an Omega. And she's like, no, like, it'll be fine. Because she was already there for 1 year. So she's there for another year, but she decides to put like, at least some suppressant, so it's her scent's not so crazy. So she starts to like, oh wait, the other one, I got the names mixed up, I think. Oh wow. So she starts to be with one of the guys. I think it's Alexi. I think I got the other one mixed up. So she gets Alexi, he's an Alpha, and he doesn't want to share. And she's like, well, you're going to have to share, because if an Omega, they have to have more than one person in a pack, because they literally hurt if they're not going at it. They're in pain. So they need more than one person, because the person will get tired. And he's like, I'm not okay with this. Well, then he starts to form a relationship with her. And then she brings another one in, and he is the mascot. His name is Ethan, and I loved Ethan to no end. Loved him so damn much. And so then Alpha guy, he's like, okay, I like Ethan. Ethan's good, and Ethan's a beta. He's not an Alpha. So he's like, okay, so you're bringing Ethan in. We're great. We're good. But he doesn't know that she has another one in mind. And Matt, his name is Mike. Mike and the other guy, they hate each other. They hate each other so much. But Mike doesn't know why the other guy hates him so much, but he hates him. And so he's talking to him and trying to figure out, like, why do you hate me so much? And so he comes to find out why. And it is really sad, but like, all the guys are together and they're also with her. So, and Sloane is very organized. She's very clean. Like, she knows what she wants. And something tragic does happen, but it helped them work together more. And there was a lot more character growth in this one than the other 2. So this one I appreciated even more. And also it was very diverse. And when, like, Ethan, there was one thing he couldn't do, and he told those guys, he goes, you guys need to step in and deal with this, because I'm only a beta. I cannot give her what she needs, and you guys need to get your heads out of your asses and get over it and go help her, because I can't do anything. Because like, a beta can't really help when they're in heat. Like, you need an Alpha, and he's not able to help as much as she needs. But again, if you don't like nodding, don't read it. But that one was my favorite. I gave it 5 stars, 5 chilies. I loved that book. Well, then I read A Drop of Corruption. It's the second book of the Shadow of the Leviathan series by Robert Jackson Bennett. I loved this book. I gave it 4.5 stars. It's not spicy. It is a Watson Sherlock Holmes retelling, and it has magic, and it has like I don't know. They say they're grass and you can like alter your body. And so this one they're called in for a murder. And so he has to go, and he's an engraver. So everything he sees and touches and hears and everything, he can relay it back to Anna, which she would be Sherlock Holmes. And so they're trying to figure out this murder, and halfway through another murder takes place, but the murders are tied together and they figure that out. So they're trying to figure everything out. But it's like a giant puzzle, and it was just so interesting the entire time. I really liked it. And Anna, for some of it, was she was really brash, and um she kind of was turning me off for a while, but like towards the end I loved her again. So I do really recommend it. It is a sci-fi, um, but I do really recommend that series. It is very good. And I know a third one's coming out. I just don't know when, but I am very excited for the next one. So then I read Unbound, which is the first book of the Dragonfly series by Brittany Gosen. I got this one also on NetGalley, and I gave it 4 stars with 3 chilies. You give 5 people points of views. Okay, and the first 80%, I didn't understand why we were getting 3 people. They all work together, they're best friends, and they're all thieves. I don't know why we got their 3 points of views, especially in the first 80%. It didn't make any sense. The other 2 is Avalon and Keegan. And Keegan is a dragon shifter. Avalon is a princess. Avalon is not going by the name of Avalon. So Keegan doesn't know that she's the princess. And they're working together to get a shard. And then these 3 people are also trying to get the shard for money purposes. The other 2 are trying to get it to actually save people. Avalon is trying to save her kingdom and the dragons. Keegan is trying to get rid of the dragon blight. And with the shard, he could cure everybody and get rid of dragon blight in general. So that's what he's trying to do. So him and Avalon are trying to work together, and they spark up a romance. And that third act conflict was at the very end. It was very heartbreaking. I was not happy about it, and I really need the next book because I'm still thinking about that ending, and I still want to cry. I'm not okay. I'm not okay over here. Well, then I read Yours to Take. It's the first book in the Twisted Origins by Vera Kane. I mean, I started a lot of series this month. I'm just realizing. Um, so this one is a dark romance. I gave it 4 stars. I do want to continue in the series, but I just don't know how, like, who they're gonna follow in the next one because it didn't really like hint who it would be. So I don't really know how they're gonna go about that. But it's about Quentin. He's an assassin. Something happened in his past, so now he goes after men that like hurt women on purpose just for fun, and he goes and he kills them. And he meets the girl. Her name is Honora. Meets her, and he's immediately in love with her. He just is so enamored with her. She has silver hair. She's like about my height, like 5'2". She's petite and just silver hair, and he's just in love. And he is like stalking her, light stalking. And they finally meet, and she is scared of him. And he's like, "You're not going to be scared of me for long. Like, you are not going to get rid of me." So, sure enough, she stops being scared of him, and they start actually dating. And in this one, there are 2 third act conflicts. But if they weren't in there, and if she wasn't scared of him after those, I would have been very worried. I would have been like, "Girl, what's wrong with you?" Because like the way she acted was perfect. And I'm thinking, man, if you didn't act like that, I would have been like, there's something wrong with you. So I did really like that. There was a lot of character growth. There was a lot of talk about therapy, a lot, everything. And there is a masked moment. So if you like masked men, I mean, it's only for a few pages, but I mean, it's in there. But yeah, that one was really good. I read that one in one day. It's 206 pages. It's not very long. It's already out, so I mean, if you want to read it, I would give it a shot. I mean, it's a dark romance. It's not a lot of dark stuff's happening to like in their relationship. It's like he kind of brings it home, and she's had some dark stuff happen to her, and that she's trying to get through, and they grow together, and I did really appreciate all that growth that they did. So then the last book I read was Captive Mate by Ivy Barrett. This is going to be a part of a series. It's the Alpha Authority. Yeah, I'm not continuing in the series. I gave it 2 stars. Um, I didn't even like the spice in it. I really didn't like anything about this book. I thought I would because it's a sci-fi slash wolf shifter situation. So they are in spaceships and they live on another planet and they're wolf shifters, and all of their women have died out. They have nobody to pretty much procreate with, so they can't continue their bloodlines. Yeah. So they steal brides. They have a bride service. There's a bride service from Earth that sends brides to other planets. And they hijack this ship with like over 1,000 women on it. There's a lot of women on here. And the navigator girl, her name is Lauren. I did not like her the entire book. And she's just mad, like, you took over our ship. Well, she meets with the commander, the captain, whatever, of the other ship. His name is Torax. And I did not like him at all. Like, he just was like a brute, just a brute. And like, I didn't even like the banter between them because, like, I can honestly tell you, I don't even know anything about these guys. Like, I don't nothing, like nothing. Because she's supposed to be with Torax and Raul, whatever the frick his name is, and I just don't feel any connection between any of them. You don't learn anything about any of them. There was nothing. It was just like she wrote spice to be spicy, but then thought of the plot after. I don't know. It just didn't work for me. None of it worked for me. So it's 2 stars, and I will not be continuing with that because it's just no. No. I had a lot of 2 stars and like 3 stars this month, and that's not very common. So I have 4 2 stars, 1 3 star, 4 4 stars, 4 4.5 stars, and 5 5 stars. I mean, I usually in like a month, I'm trying to see what my past month. My lowest for April was a 3 star, and I only had one of those. It's just this month, I don't know what it was. They just weren't great. Like March, my lowest was a 3 star. What about February? Let's see. February, come on. My lowest was a 3 star. Like, I'm not used to giving out like a 2 star because like I was intrigued to finish it, but I was like slogging through it. And then January, my lowest was a 3 star. I had a lot of 2 star books this month, and yeah, I read 18 books, but I mean, I can't say I mean, I had some bangers. I had like the Omega Verse books, the total Mile High Heat, the rest of Arrowheart Academy and Fate Ink and Blood. Like, those are all like my favorite books, and I read those more in the middle of the month. But yeah, some of my NetGalleys I'm figuring out like they're just okay. So I'm gonna try to be more picky with NetGalley in the future. But there's some that I am interested in, like the Yours to Take. I did not expect to like that one as much as I did, but I liked it. So that is my May reading wrap up, and I hope you enjoyed. And if you are going to read any of these books, or if you have read any of these books, comment down below which ones you have read or want to read. And I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are. And I hope you subscribe. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.